Welcome to Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, featuring interviews with world-class millennials as well as the celebrities, Fortune 500 executives, and mentors that guide us. Welcome to another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. We're at Father Knows Best. Father Knows Best?
Yeah, Father Knows Best.
Father Knows Best with Coco and Breezy of Coco and Breezy.
Yes.
It's pretty easy, and I'm already rhyming. You guys will be DJing later, so we got this. I'm really excited for this interview because you two are creative beasts and masterminds. It's also an interview where I'm this way with every guest, but particularly with you guys. I just want to shut up and listen because you're so smart. Even before, well, I think Jason got it on camera, but we were talking about like genuine relationship building, and I feel like I did that with Nick Onken, who introduced us.
Yep.
And I feel like we've been doing that, over the course of like the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Totally excited for you guys to do the book and really just like be friends for 10 years, 20 years.
Yep.
Who knows what'll happen. So thanks for inviting me to your space or one of your spaces. And can you tell us a little bit about the Coco and Breezy line to start, or maybe even the crazy backstory you guys have that's led to it all?
So Coco and I, obviously, we're twin sisters, we're best friends, we're business partners. We always had each other, and we're from Minnesota. We grew up in the extreme suburbs where we had these crazy eclectic styles. We knew we wanted to be entrepreneurs since we were in 3rd grade. We knew that we were different than the other kids that we grew up with. And so something told us that we were not going to be working a regular job for long. We got our first job at 15 years old, and by the time we were 16, we worked 2 jobs each. And at 17, we had 3 jobs each. And we've been financially on our own since we were 15 to help our parents out. And even though our parents couldn't support us financially, they always supported us to be creative. They never let us, they never kept us in a box.
Yeah.
If we wanted to shave our hair, if we wanted to like get a piercing, we got our nose, not this, we had our nose pierced when we were like 13.
Did they try and like reason you out of things though?
Our parents never reasoned us out because we got really good grades. We never got in trouble. We never talked back. We were always on, And it's like you can't reason with us if we were doing everything that's good. And I think that a lot of parents, they have a problem with like holding their kids back because it's like the kids want to express themselves creatively, but the parents have their own like master plan what they want their kids to do. So later on, the kids end up rebelling. So for us, I feel like our parents gave us that creativity, that freedom, where like they gave us freedom, but they were still stern.
I don't know if I told you this at coffee shop when we first met, but like I have a similar experience that my mom tried to reason me out of things, but never said no.
Right.
So she never shot things down. Not that I would listen per se, and if your parents said no, you probably wouldn't have listened. But it's nice to have that support system, or like unconditional support, like you would expect from a best friend or a sister or brother, things like that. So I don't know. I found that as like a unique parallel to our story. Like you guys are the definition of hustle, and like when everyone's using this buzzword of hustle, we should just put a picture of Coco and Breezy in the dictionary right next to that word.
That's so true.
That would fit better.
We've been hustling since we were young. We're always into something.
Yeah.
You know how people are always like doing something, whether it was like when we were younger, we started building the brand before we had product.
Right. So you guys have been smart about it. You've always built it on the same, like under the same umbrella.
Exactly.
So it's always built up on each other.
Yep.
And then it's all in the creative domain, so it's all inspiration for the future. There's one other piece, but like you guys have a ton of fun doing it too.
Oh,
so,
we love it.
Yeah. It's hustle, but it's also like a smart and fun, passionate hustle that I think few people miss out on.
I think for us, so what really inspired us to design eyewear was us being different and people staring at us and getting bullied. And so we started designing eyewear only for ourselves, and we would wear them, and a lot of people asked, where can I buy those from? And we said, this is our chance to like go to New York and start the brand.
So even though they were sunglasses, they were like literal shade blockers, or
they were literal
shade blockers, and then figurative shade blockers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when people throw shade at you, you're like, nope, I can hide behind the sunglasses.
Yes. And so from there, that's when the Coco and Breezy eyewear started. But
after people like ripping them off your face, like
totally.
or buying them off your face.
We literally quit our jobs, sold our car, moved to New York with nothing but a dream, a passion, and like just being extremely fearless.
Yeah.
And something that Coco and I, something that we've practiced at a young age. This is something that's not a mindset that happens overnight.
Yeah.
But at a young
lot of
age,
practice.
we practice how to be fearless, how to make every situation into a positive, no matter how uncomfortable you are, but being very comfortable with being uncomfortable and not letting that ever stop you.
And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with us having emotions. We all have emotions, but sometimes we just can't let our emotions take us all the way down.
What was the last time you were uncomfortable? Like, was there like a moment in the last week?
I would say,
or today even?
I would say the moment where we felt very uncomfortable was last year. We had this really big order and it got canceled because the production got messed up and it kind of messed up our cash flow. And so we were like, okay, so we have all this product, the order got canceled, what do we need to do? And we were like, all right.
So you had the product.
We had the product.
You had the canceled orders, now you needed to sell that product, but like in a fast way.
Exactly. So we were like, what do we need to do? In between Coco and I and our business partner Dwayne, we were very uncomfortable, but instead of anyone stressing out, we called each other, we got the email, we're like, hey, did you see that email? Did you see that email? Yeah, all right. Let's figure out what do we need to do.
Right.
So we took about 7-8 months to redevelop all of our product. We sold that product.
Damn.
It took a long time. We did 2 samples. We did like a weekend sample sale. We did pop-up shops. We did anything that we could to sell the product. Then we were like, all right, you guys, we need to step back and really redevelop our product.
It was like a decade into building.
Yeah.
Or like,
and the thing is, when you have, we had to rebuild new habits. Yeah, we did. I think that we got so comfortable with the habits that we were obtaining that obviously those habits weren't working. So we had to step back and figure out we have to create new habits, new protocols, and make a pivot in our business. And make a pivot within it's like you have to make a pivot within your business, but also make a pivot within yourself.
Is there a way you're able to like fact check yourself now, or like check yourself and so you don't get into that situation again?
Definitely.
Not just like the business stuff, but more the mindset stuff. Like business, it's like, let's not take an order like that again unless we have X amount of sales that we can like bank on. But I'm sure there's some of the mindset stuff. You're like, well, here's how we get ourselves out of the funk in the future.
Well, for us now, it's like we travel to our factory now. We get to see everything being made. We don't procrastinate as much. We used to get our stuff done, but we used to procrastinate a lot. And now it's about also don't be afraid of reality and making deadlines that are realistic. Sometimes we make these deadlines and we feel like, all right, I can get that done in 2 days, knowing dang well you can't get something done in another week. But you're trying to satisfy somebody else. So now it's like, don't be afraid of reality. If you can't get something done, that deadline is not realistic, just tell them, hey, I can't get this done on this day, but can it be done in 30 days? And if not, then don't do it. Also, too, something that I think that has helped us is to really figure out what our priorities were, like what our high priorities were and what our low priorities were. And we used to do things that were, we had mixed up. We would do things like our high priorities and low priorities, like we're together. And we didn't have that like separated. So now we always take our high money generating priorities. That's always the first thing that we work on. And then the low priorities are second. The things that take time, but it's not extremely important right now. And I'm very happy that we know the difference now, and we've seen a pivot in our business, like financially, the growth, everything in full circle since we've like created those new habits.
What would you say some of the habits or the frameworks you use to build a brand over time? I mean, obviously you've done this for a really long time by now, and you've been doing it for a very long time moving forward, but for someone starting out, how do they make a very distinct brand? Or how do they make a brand that is so unlike what's in the market?
I would say, honestly, a brand is all about the story behind the brand. I mean, you don't have to have like the all-American story. It doesn't have to be about yourself, but the brand has to have a story. Because once you think about it, it's like there's so many products out in the market that are so similar, but people get connected and they get emotionally connected, and you get that brand equity from a story.
So how do you best tell that story?
you best tell that story with first figuring out who's your customer and how can your customer connect to, like, whatever story you create, it has to go towards the customer or target audience that you're trying to like reach out to. You know, I mean, for us, fortunately, we got to organically use our own story. So, and so it was like our story started building like young. You know, like it was us being these young girls that had fashion style that got bullied. So we were shameless and we shared reality with the public. We know what we went through.
And something about
like reality.
The transparency.
Yeah, exactly. Very like transparent.
Something about us as a brand that I think that that has helped grow the brand is that we came in at such a great time as like we're the millennials. We're the people that came into the market not even really having necessarily a demographic. Like we couldn't really point out what the age was that we were targeting. We couldn't point out the race. We couldn't point out the style. We knew that we were coming in to create a new customer and create something that is different.
Because when we first started, they weren't like marketing. They weren't talking about millennials. They were trying to figure out what was going on. Now it's like pretty trendy. You know,
well, that
but in
and
2009,
I think
social media marketing wasn't as like.
Yeah, you guys started on MySpace.
Yeah.
Influencer marketing, there wasn't a name for it, but we were doing it.
We were doing all that stuff without the name being there.
Yeah. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. I think Gen Xers and like Gen X marketers or boomer marketers, they could go to things like age or gender or race or ethnicity or religion to target a customer.
Right.
But there's a fly.
I'm not scared. Fun fact, Coco and I are scared of flies.
Really?
Yeah. Freak out.
But like given the rise of technology, the ability to share those authentic stories faster, the different views of our generation when it comes to interacting with a product, and we're going for transparency because we have access to information like ever before. I think we, like you're saying, you can't use the stereotypical demographic things.
Right.
You have to go back to like, who is this person? Can we put a name on this customer, even if it's fake name? Like,
it's true.
You know, who is Joe Smith? Is Joe Smith? What does Joe Smith wear?
Yep.
Where does Joe Smith get their information online?
Yeah.
Is Joe Smith?
Are they a
where do they live?
Yeah. Are they an Instagrammer?
Yeah.
Are they a Snapchatter? And that's something that like 10 years ago, brands weren't thinking about.
Right. They're like Joe Smith's 15 to 30, and he's a male, and he lives in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Latino or whatever. Like that was that conversation where marketing's completely changed.
And you know what? Too, people are with social media. People are more exposed to what's going on. So say like in the Midwest, you knew that when you were targeting certain like products, people in the Midwest, they were only exposed to so much. So you're like, all right, we'll target this to the East Coast. We'll do this type of product for the Midwest, and we'll do this type for the West Coast. Now with social media, people in the Midwest are dressing like people on the East Coast now.
If they want to.
No, not saying if they want to. It's more like popular because they see like what the trends are. Like back in the day when we lived in Minnesota, we're like, we're going to New York. We're about to see what all the trends are. We're gonna learn all the new slang. Like we're gonna learn all like the New York stuff. Now it's just a quick. They don't have to come to New York to learn what the new styles are. You see like on Tumblr, these kids are
just have to go to their phone.
Yeah, they just go right to Instagram. They're able to see, which is great for us brands.
Yeah.
Now, it's you get way more exposed to like what's going on, and also technology and fashion.
And also too, it's easy to be worldwide now as a brand. Back in the day, I think that before, like 10 years ago, it was a big deal to be worldwide. Now it's easy to be worldwide because social media makes you worldwide, and as soon as you sign up for Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, well what does like Coco and Breezy as a brand stand for? Like right now you guys can be classified as like Instagram influencers, but you know in 5 years like Instagram might be not that popular, or maybe it will be, but like more so than like the tactics you're using to grow the brand. What does the brand stand for, and how what's going to guide you in the next 10 or 20 years or 40 years as you're growing the brand?
Well, I'm good. It's a twin thing.
It's a twin.
Well, honestly, I think that our brand, since we first started with our product line, we're developing a lot more as far as like when we first started, we were more niche. Our product only reached one market. Now we're scaling, and we're not only making like these crazy glasses, but now we're making eyewear that can fit any type of person. you know? And I think that the way we are growing with like the story, people love unique eyewear, they love to be different, and I think that independent eyewear brands are starting to become way more popular, you know? And I think that with our brand, we mix music, fashion, art, we're building a lifestyle. So we're not just eyewear,
Right.
we're creating a culture. So I think that's what's helping us grow the brand.
And I actually wouldn't classify us as Instagram influencers, only because we're more than that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're entrepreneurs, and it's really funny because since we are the brand, and we also own the brand, but then other brands hire Coco and I to do influencer work, and us being the hustlers that we are, we plug in our sunglasses, and it always works in both ways because we're working for another brand, but then we're also making sure we bring back our sunglasses to add promotion to whatever we're doing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I can see the people following your brand growing up with you essentially over time.
Exactly.
Like the rest of their life, you know, Coco and Breezy stands for shameless, it's like unabashed hustle, like acting your dreams, you know, fusing all these different inspirations, whether it's music, fashion, you know, art, or whatever else you guys pick up in the future as an inspiration. You know, maybe maybe in 10 years it's something else, but it comes back to that authentic storytelling. It comes back to being able to work for what you have now and then also continue evolving in the future.
And also too, I think that somewhere where our brand stands as well is that we're the brand, and it's us as individuals, we're the brand, we help bridge the gap between the millennials and also what is the older generation considered?
Gen X.
The Gen X?
Gen X and Gen X, and then Boomers, and then we got Gen Z after us. Although there's like, I would like split millennials into like two sections, like 25 to 34, and then like, you know, 18 to 25.
Well, I feel like we bridge the gap between the younger generation and then the older generation, I feel.
Yeah.
And I think that like the bigger corporations, they need people like all of us because these young kids are growing up really fast, but they are very specific now. They don't
let's go there. So anyone older watching, how do they best stay in touch with millennials and Gen Zers? And then at our age, like, how do we best stay in touch with older generations so that we can like increase the intergenerational understanding rather than bash heads? Like, what would be your tips, or what would you look out for from both perspectives?
I mean, I would say first, on a personal note, surround yourself with all types of people. Like for us, we were just talking about earlier how like one day you'll see us going to speaking at Princeton University, and then like the next day you see us going to a party DJing with like hip hop artists.
Yeah.
So that's how you stay in touch. It's like be open to like open up your surroundings and be open-minded, not to judge people by their outside, but judge people by conversation.
I saw that last night at the drinks you invited me to. I mean, we had someone from the New York City mayor's office who modeled. You had someone who did real estate.
Yeah.
You had, you know, people that had brands like yourselves, or up-and-coming singers.
Yeah. Exactly.
People managing those singers. Apparently, there was like a editor there, like Teen Vogue. So like that's the media world. Yeah, I do the same thing. I mean, that's as you're seeing with 3 billion under 30, it's like all over the place.
Yeah, and I think that we all get inspired and influenced by people that are around us. So how can you grow as a person if you're keeping the same type of people that are like you around you?
Yeah,
you know, and you can't at all. I think that has really helped us. Since we were younger, we were always like that. Like in high school, we would talk to, you know, in high school, like when they have their little groups and cliques. We would talk to we never had a clique. But you know, we never sat the one chick. We sat out.
Yeah, that was me too.
We talked to everybody though. I know, with Coco. We didn't have a lunch. It was exciting. We didn't have a table to go sit at. So we sat outside the lunchroom, or we sat at the computer lab. Yeah, we did.
Right. So you didn't realize that was a strength while you were in high school. I called it group hopping.
Yeah,
that's what I called it, because like I was like on the basketball team for freshman year of high school, and then I was like friends with, you know, I was friends with everyone, like, but didn't go deep with any group.
Right, that's how we were.
Nowadays, like, we all go deep with everyone because we've learned how to be emotionally intelligent enough and build authentic relationships. but I didn't realize it was a strength until maybe 16 or 17.
That's so true. Oh my god.
Did you have a mentor point it out, or did you figure it out on your own?
We figured it out on our own.
Okay. It took a mentor being a sounding board for me to be like, oh, that's a strength. I'm like, wow, that makes sense.
Which is true, because you know what? I think that it's really important. I think people get afraid to be in environments that they're not used to, because then they get uncomfortable. But for me, I've learned, like when we first moved to New York, if you've seen the way we dressed back in the day, we had like black lipstick, blue and gray hair, like gothic boots, but we walk into freaking office in the Trump Towers to go meet with the vice president or the owner in there, you know?
Yeah.
And the first thing he told us was, he said, never change. Never change. Because at first, when we walked into his office, this lady, the secretary, was like, I don't think they're here with like, I think the corporate Macy's were there. I think they're here with Macy's. I said, no, we're here to see the CEO. Yeah. Thank you. And the first thing, and I told him, like, we feel like you dress different when we come here. He was like, no, be yourself. People want to work with you for who you are.
Right.
You know, and I think that that's something with us that we get judged all the time by the way we look. People always think we're like these like starving artists that are maybe like musicians that are rock stars that party. And really, we're like pretty nerdy. You talking to us, you know us. You kind of know us. Like you know us pretty well to like know that like we're completely opposite than what people might first judge us as.
But at this point, you really don't care whether.
Oh, we don't care at all. I want to educate other people about it. That's why I like to share the story, because I know that there's other people out there like us that are like us that are insecure about going to a business meeting with their personal style. And I think I can say that from the age of 19 until like 21, we were insecure about even saying that we didn't go to college. And we used to be sitting on a piano at like some of the most like the Ivy League schools, but next and people would talk about what degrees they have, what school they went to, and I'll be very when it comes to us, I used to be embarrassed.
High school degree.
I wouldn't be confident, but now I can confidently say, like, I started my business right after high school, and I'm living my dream, and I love what I do, and I'm just, and like the world is my education.
I find things like that to be strengths, because if everyone is going into a university system, if everyone's going into the corporate world, you know, by us not doing that, we're subjecting ourselves to thinking raw, but it's in that raw thinking that we're going to be different from everyone else.
Exactly.
By default. Like, by definition, we're going to be different.
Yeah.
Which, if you apply it the right way, is beneficial.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes you stick out as a brand. It makes, you know, you take in a unique group of mindsets, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Part of the series, like, we're having a lot of fun with our guests, which we'll do in a second. And I guess this is like a setting that you guys deemed fun / cool / you know, homey. It's also being super practical, which we have been for sure. But you know, I would ask, you know, if this show could be a trumpet for you to like share any message with a bigger audience. You know, what would those messages be, or what would that point of practicality be?
One, I would say building organic relationship with people. I feel like having organic relationships they last a long way. And also I think that when you build organic relationships, when you meet people, it's not about working with them right away, it's about how can you become friends with them and how can you help each other in the long term. You know, it's like you don't have to right away be like, oh my gosh, I just met the CEO of this company, I need to work with them tomorrow. No, build your organic relationship, keep their contact, and contact them when the time is right. And also too, something that we like absolutely live by is don't let fear interfere. So never let fear interfere with your emotions. Don't let it interfere with your goals, with your passion, with your dreams. Then you'll start making irrational decisions. And so I think that if you don't let fear interfere and you let it more so like be fearless, you can accomplish anything. It takes a certain mindset. You could be the smartest person, you can be book smart, you could be very intelligent, but if you have that little itty bitty sense of fear in you, that can go a long way and that can really stop you.
Well, you can have fear. It's not like we can block it, but don't let it interfere.
Don't let it interfere. Exactly. Like
almost like very zen, like you're like, hi fear, how are you? And just, like,
exactly. Yeah, it's very good to self-reflect and notice the fear, but never let it interfere your ultimate goals.
I think we should get to the fun part.
Only if you're gonna dance.
I can dance.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if it's gonna be pretty or not, but
It's okay.
you're gonna DJ and I'm gonna dance.
Exactly.
And something too that we can say is that when we are designing our eyewear, we are so inspired by music, and we have collaborated with a few like artists. I'm not sure if you remember the glasses we did for Prince, which is like probably one of our most favorite.
We can throw up a picture of it in the video.
So I think that makes sense because I feel like fashion and music go hand in hand, and we're more inspired by music than we are necessarily like fashion.
Why music per se?
Music just gives you this movement and gives you a feeling. Like for us, we used to be dancers, and we still love to dance. So music just gives us this feeling of like feeling like when we dance, you can't tell us nothing. We're in our own world. We're so happy.
Have you been a day breaker in New York?
I haven't.
No?
But I heard about it. I think Nick invited me once. Is that a day party?
It's a morning dance party. They sometimes do it on weekends.
Okay, yeah.
It's awesome. You should go.
I would love to go. Tell me next
that's
time.
your thing.
Tell me when the next one is if you know about it. Otherwise, I'll look.
Yeah, I'm on the news list. I've been to like 12 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're going to the next one with you.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go DJ.
Okay.
There you go. Your friend's music?
No, it's just some other like chill songs. But it's like all music. It's all like not mainstream.
So you can like start like making some beats.
All the samples, like 5, 6, 5, 10.
Oh, it's great. So you record it and then like when you play it, like plays whatever you hate.
You're not alive.
I know, but like so if I press the button, you start making noise.
Yeah. I'll tell you. All the lines have to line up. Now I'm gonna give you. If you take this out the way.
just like normal, like. How long did it take you to DJ or learn how to DJ? Yeah, I think it's so good actually have a conversation today.
Sorry about that.
You learned in like a weekend before doing the show,
yeah,
right?
so we learned how to DJ maybe like 3 days before our first show.
Yeah. What did you do in 3 days to learn how to DJ?
What we did?
Like where did you go to learn that fast?
So we have a lot of DJ friends, and we asked two of our friends, like, oh my god, we have a DJ in like 3 days, can you teach us? And we'll like split all of our like bookings.
Okay.
And so yeah, our friends, like two of our friends taught us how to DJ. The first like couple gigs, they came with us to like make sure that to point out any typos
like learn, like pick an expert to like learn from,
Exactly.
have them be hard. Like,
Exactly. Be harsh on it. You actually want to kill it.
I just feel like I'm standing here. What new inspiration do you need? I'll throw some more inspiration.
I don't know, I love it. I think all the inspiring talk.
Do something like scratching.
You don't do more so mixing, chopping, you don't do scratching it. Yeah, chopping and screwing and like producing and like sampling live, that's what we do. We're not like big scratchers.
I got it.
I'm still learning though.
Got it. So these all the samples you can throw in?
So you know, that's an example.
Okay.
Like when you press that button, that auto loop, you're sampling a piece of the song.
Got it.
A lot of DJs don't do that. They'll like play it and they'll mix to the next song. Us, we'll like take. You have both songs. Two songs are playing right now.
Right.
We're making one song.
Right.
Most people just do like they'll mix it when they're transitioning to the next song. Us, this two songs are playing. It sounds like a whole new track.
Yeah.
You turn it down? Yeah, it's like dying complaining. It's not that loud.
So if I want to switch one of the songs.
Okay, what you do is, let's do this song. This is a good one. Okay, wait, what side are you gonna do?
I was gonna do Legend.
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, you can do Legend. On the left side. Put it on the left
So
side.
just drag it?
Drag it, yeah. This song, you have to drag it. Or no, I'll show you even better. Do shift, left button. That's a key. Shift left. Shift left. Yep. Now I gotta move this to 70. Look, the BPMs have to be the same.
Yep.
So I'm gonna move this to 70.
Then how would you start the?
See how the lines are lined up? That's a good thing. You always want it to line up. That means that the BPMs are aligned.
And then how would you start the song on the right or on the left? Or it's already started, I guess.
Now it's gonna start it. Now you still hear the second song.
There we go. Just made a beat.
But this right here is so
I was
clear.
Drake for Halloween last year.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'll have to see that.
You might have to put up a picture. What? I gotta show you the picture of me with being Drake Halloween.
Because I think I should never about traveling to yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing some of your tunes. Thanks for sharing some of your ideas.
Of course, for having us.
Thanks for being in the book. Thanks for being friends above all else.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
We'll include some notes in the show links, but check out just cocoandbreezy.com and Coco and Breezy, like everything online. Is the internet fucking with you?
No, you don't need the internet for this.
Oh, that's kind of sick. Thank you for watching another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. Now, if you want to see more stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, we actually have a book coming out in January called 3 Billion Under 30. And if you go and click the link in the description below, you can get 3 free stories from the next book right now. Not in January, now. So check it out and follow the rest of the web series in order to see more interviews just like this one.